Hello everybody, Blue Lizard here, and today I'm going to do a full tutorial on the flowers. If I miss anything out, please let me know in the comments below, and let's start with the tutorial on the new flowers. It's not exactly a tutorial on the new flowers, it's basically a tutorial on the flowers themselves. I was thinking that it is a good idea to do a tutorial on all the flowers, as they have all been added in the recent update. So basically it kind of is to do with the title update, but let's go into a technical detail on the flowers, shall we? So they are naturally occurring plants, and they come in all shapes and colours, as you can see here. The flowers in the game are the dandelion, poppy, blue orchid, allium, azure bullet, and then all the different types of tulips, the oxeye daisy, the sunflower, lilac, rosebush, and peony. They are all the flowers in the game, as well as all these like ferns and like grass and stuff, but I'm not going to include them. They do the same mechanics, but for the sake of this episode I am just going to mention basically all the other flowers. So yeah, to obtain them you can break them by hand. You can also collect them from a piston, and you can also collect them by pouring water onto them, and that is actually quite cool and the best ways to collect all the different types of flowers. So let me just place them all back a minute, just in case the episode goes wrong and I have to redo it again. It's easier to just replace them back. But yeah, you can also obtain them from a drop, and the thing that drops them is not a cow. I'm just getting rid of the cow just so it's easier. And the things that actually drop them are ender golem. So let me just try and take out this ender golem here. It might take a while, but yeah, let's have a look to see if it dropped a poppy. Yes, it does, and it can drop from 0 to 2 poppies in Minecraft, and that is another way to obtain them. They do not you cannot obtain other types of flowers from the iron golem. The iron golem just drops poppies. It used to be roses, but because they changed and everything, it is just poppies that they drop. They naturally generate on dirt and grass blocks. This also includes a snow biome. Just because there's snow there, it doesn't mean that they cannot generate on the grass that's underneath the snow. And if you use a bone meal, I think you need light to be able to get them, or something. I'm not too sure, but there's something to do with that. I've just written down a whole load of notes here. I'm not actually sure like what I actually meant by you need light to do it, because I know that I've actually spawned them in the dark before, so I'm not sure what that's to do with. But yeah, pretty much all the other notes I've written down is understandable. So if you guys, well, actually I'll find out afterwards, but if you guys know what I meant about the light and everything, please let me know in the comments below, because you guys might know about that little thing that I seem to don't understand. So yeah, but anyway, let's move on to bone meal. Flowers have a chance of spawning when you use a bone meal. So if I go like that, as you can see, I've got a poppy and I've got a dandelion. And if you want to spawn in the and if you'd like to spawn in some more flowers, you can spawn in the blue orchid if you do it in a swamp. So as you can see here, I have obtained a blue orchid by placing that down. And yeah, and as you can see, this is a flower forest right here, because my world was generated before the update. As you can see, there's a new generation here. So this basically here is a flower forest, which is quite coincidence that it actually spawned in right now to do with the tutorial. But yeah, this is a flower forest where you can find things such as the azure bluette, all the different types of tulips. I believe this is a allium, and you can find all the poppies, you can find rose bushes, you can find peonies, you can find lilac, you can find all sorts, you can find dandelions, and you can find all sorts in the flower forest. Now if you would like to and this bit here is a sunflower plains. So in the sunflower plains, it basically spawns in sunflowers. It's pretty easy to realize that because of the name. But yeah, in normal plains, I think this is a plains. Yeah, in normal plains you can spawn in azure bluettes and also oxeye daisies from the plains if you just spawn them in. But yeah. Oh yeah, and this is to do with the biomes. I'll explain this in another episode. But yeah, the tall trees are actually something to do with it. And to be honest, it's actually coincidence me finding all the flower forests and stuff, because I had no idea what was in this part of my world. So let's just spawn that in on the map, just so it's easier for us to find it outside the episode, because I had no idea that any of that stuff was there. Yeah. So let's go back down here a minute and basically continue on with my little presentation. That seems to have gone wrong in a good way, because I found a flower forest and some other biomes to do with flowers. But yeah, and that's actually quite cool that it ended up in a good way. But let's just carry on with my little thing here. Okay, so flower biomes, like I said before, the dandelion can only be found, guys, in a plains biome, a sunflower plains, which is what we saw. They can only spawn in a forest and a flower forest. Oh, and they can spawn anywhere else, so, but not the swamp. So they can spawn in the plains, sunflower plains, forest, flower forest, basically everywhere except for the swamp. The poppies can spawn in the plains, sunflower plains, forest, flower forest, any other biome except for the swamp. Exactly the same as the dandelions. Now the blue orchids can only spawn in the swamp, which is an opposite. The azure bluettes can spawn in the plains, sunflower plains, the flower forest. All the types of tulips can only spawn in the plain, sunflower plains, and the flower forest. Now the oxeye daisies can only spawn in the plain, sunflower plains, and the flower forest. Now the sunflower have kind of a generation, like a 50-50 chance of spawning in a sunflower plains, like we saw over there. With them spawning in the sunflower plains, that is kind of to do with what I was saying and stuff. They can only like spawn like 50-50 of actually being in there. The lilacs can spawn in the forest and the flower forest by a generation chance, as well as the rosebush and the peony. So the lilac, rosebush and peony is basically all the tall flowers. They can only spawn in the forest and the flower forest by a 50-50 chance. So yeah, and there kind of is a, so like I said, this isn't just to do with the console or PC or whatever, this is to do with all of the versions. And with the PI edition, the only flowers that you can obtain are the dandelion and the cyan flower. So you can't get any of these fancy flowers. And the cyan flower was very similar to the Ode Rose flower. It's just had a blue texture to it, so it's exactly the same as the Ode Rose flower, but it just has the cyan, basically a blue texture to it. And yeah, I think that is pretty much everything important to do with the flowers now. If you want to know the history of all the types of Minecraft flowers, I will be going over that right now. For the PC, right, I'm going to go over the PC history first. Right, so for the PC, in Classic, the yellow flowers and roses were added. The flowers could be placed on all block types, including lava, and on top of each other blocks. And they could also float, so basically, now if I go like that and break the block under it, it breaks. But they used to be able to float. Yeah, and in a certain update for the Classic, they were now able to spawn like naturally in worlds or something like that. And with the beta, they could be grown with the bone meal. Like I said about the bone meal, flowers could actually be grown by a bone meal. And also, yellow flowers became more abundant in a beta as well. And for the official releases of Minecraft PC in 1.7.2, the flowers were decentered like tall grass. Like basically, I'm not sure if it shows on the Xbox, but on the PC they're not exactly in the center of the block. They can be placed to the left, to the right, like anywhere like in that block. Like now, as you can see like they're in the exact center of the block. On the PC, they're kind of like, it's kind of like all over the place. It's not exactly in the center. And the roses were renamed to the poppies, as well as the texture. The yellow flower was renamed to the dandelion, and all the new flowers were added, including the blue orchid, allium, azure bluette, tulips, oxeye daisy, sunflower, lilac, rosebush, and peony. Very similar to the ones added in Xbox recently. And the dandelions were now able to generate in flower forests. Dandelions could also use to tame rabbits. Oxeye daisies could be used to apply patterns inside banners. So I'm going to go over the Pocket Edition history now. So through the Pocket Edition history, the sign flower was added, just very similar to the PI Edition with the sign flower. That was added. They added a dye recipe for dandelions. The sign flower was renamed to a rose, and the position of flowers is now randomized. Like I said before, the position, so basically the console editions, basically, as well as the PI, are the only editions that don't have a randomized placement of the flowers. They have to be exactly in the centered. They're basically centered. So yeah. And also in the Pocket Edition version, the cyan flower was removed. Okay, so it was removed in 0.9.0, and also all the new flowers such as the poppy, blue orchid, like everything, like I keep going over what's added, but yeah, basically all of those were added inside of the Pocket Edition. And also they added a dye recipes for all the flowers, and all the flowers could be recreated using the bone meal, depending on the biome. Like I said before, depending on the biome, they spawn in different areas. But yeah, the console edition, okay, so the game that I'm playing right now, in TU1, they added the yellow flowers and the roses. In TU25, the roses were replaced with poppies. Basically, the roses were replaced with the poppy texture, but the name stayed as a rose. And in TU31, they added things, brand new types of flowers. The yellow flower was renamed to the dandelion, and the poppy textured rose was renamed to the poppy. And Also, they added much more flowers such as the blue orchid and all the types of tulips, and like I said before, I don't really need to go over all of it right now. And the rose was fully removed, like I said before, and the PI edition history, all they've added is the sunflowers and the dandelions, and that basically is everything that I have to say about these flowers. Really soon I will be doing another episode on all of the new biomes, such as like the flower forest, like everything that's over here. I will be doing a tutorial video on all of them. That will be coming out really soon, and that will hopefully be the next tutorial episode. And yeah, and some of you have been wondering what this world is. It's basically a tutorial and update world where I place like lots of stuff, and yeah, and also I have discovered a glitch with the maps. If I just quickly show you this quick, I apologize that this is not to do with the flowers thing right now, but just to let you guys all know, because most of you are going to come and watch this tutorial episode anyway, and most of you can actually see this glitch and try it for yourself, and if it don't work you can all report it to 4J or something on those lines. But yeah, if I just go back, also another bug is the texture. Like if you look at the arms, it's gone back to Steve. So if I go back to my little thing over here, and I need to show you the glitch that I have discovered. So basically, if I place this as the center map and place it on the side there, look, the picture of that does not show correct. Look at my map. It looks like that. That is correct. But then when I place that, it completely changes. It may get a little bit glitchy, like as I move around it might like glitch a little bit, but apart from that it is technically broke. Look at that picture. That is not the correct picture of the map. But yeah, as you can see, it's kind of glitching. Like, see, it kind of glitches a little bit. But yeah, that is a bug that I discovered, and hopefully it can be fixed soon. Please 4J hurry up, because in one of my worlds I'm planning to make an entire map. I think in Lizardland, my YouTube series, I'm planning to make an entire map, but I can't at the moment. But yeah, speaking of Lizardland will not be getting the update until sometime in January, so please don't go on to me about Lizardland not being updated. It will be in January sometime, so yeah. I think this is about it with all the flower tutorials, and yeah, this is Blue Lizard, and I shall see you all in the next tutorial video. Goodbye, everybody.